Rapradar podcast live in LA. This is our first one in LA too.
First one in LA.
Yeah.
Yo, before we get started, man, definitely got to thank the good people at AEG, my guy Marcus making this happen, our tremendous partners at Rapradar Podcast, Interval Presents.
Yep.
Always supporting. It's going to be an amazing night. But, you know, first and foremost, though, I want to make sure, you know, it's heavy in our hearts, the passing of Takeoff.
Right.
I'm not really a big moment of silence person, but I think it's very fitting in this case. You know, I definitely had a chance to document them a lot. And, you know, actually, Quavo and Takeoff were the first episode we did of this new run of the Rapradar podcast. So let's give a quick moment of silence for Takeoff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
So now,
on a lighter
fun
note.
times, man.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, B.Dot. This pandemic, everything's been tough, but you know what I've listened to a lot since things got crazy in this world?
What's that?
It was good until it wasn't.
Yes.
In 2020.
It wasn't. But I'm on that blue water though, man.
That bluewaterroad.
That blue water.
2022.
I'm feeling that, man. That's my joint.
So when me and B.Dot were trying to figure out who to have on the show for this special event, you know, this creative is out here really making noise. And I'm honored that she's agreed to talk to us and have this moment with her true fans out there. We got some
real Kehlani fans here.
Some real fans? Yeah, no industry stuff, man. No industry stuff, right, B?
Yeah, no industry. You know, Kehlani, she ain't no industry neither. She doesn't really do interviews, you know what I'm saying?
She don't even like interview people, man. So I'm scared, but I'm going to be nice. I'm going to smile.
Word.
I'm going to try to ask intelligent questions, and I love the music.
Don't get fucked up, Elliott.
Nah, I won't. I promise you. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Make some noise.
Kehlani.
Kehlani. Yes.
Wait, you're in the middle. Hello.
Hey.
Make yourself comfortable. How you feeling, Kehlani?
I'm good. I'm nervous.
Nervous?
We're nervous
I
too.
haven't talked to people in a long time.
It's all good though, but it seems like you really relaxed. I saw you in Hawaii for the last week or so.
Yeah, I had a show. I finished my North American tour there, so it was nice.
Yes.
So here's what I'm hearing about the North American tour, that it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
And yeah, I just think that like this, I mean, it's like I was saying earlier, like you've created kind of this great art during this tough time for everybody. It must feel very exciting to now be able to go outside and share this experience with your fans.
Yeah, it was interesting to put out an album in like the thick of the pandemic and not be able to tour it and then drop another album and have to figure out how to navigate, you know, creating a tour out of 2 unplayed albums and then having a mixtape before that was also unplayed. So now I'm like touring, trying to figure out how to play all this music I've never gotten to play before. But overall, it's been like a super top tier, incredible experience. My favorite tour probably ever so far. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So how do you approach a live tour? Like, is it battles over the set list? Like talk about that process of like how you hone in on what a Kehlani show is gonna look like right now.
It was a
Kehlani,
super.
I'm sorry. Kehlani.
Some real ones in the crowd.
Kehlani. My bad.
It's okay.
Kehlani.
My own grandfather calls me Kehlani at this point. It's just, we're just rocking. It was different. The tour show was a lot different than what we performed originally. What we were rehearsing was longer. There was costume changes. There was set pieces. There was all these things that once we played, like everybody kind of knows that tours, that kind of like the first week of a tour feels like the trial run.
Yeah.
So like the first week is like, what did we do this wrong? Is this too long? Do I have energy here? Where does the crowd lose energy? What do I fix? So a lot ended up changing, you know, throughout the tour. And I feel like we got a real understanding and like grip on what the show actually was by like halfway through. But at first there was like, I just had too much music. I had so much
you
music.
got a lot of too. Abundance.
I was like, what do I play? Do I play you guys' favorite? Like you have to consider like the fan favorites, but also like that might also be all slow songs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like then the show has to have energy, and then I dance, and then there's things that like certain cities have their favorites, and this song went up here. There's just like a lot of factors that you have to consider, but overall we narrowed it down to like a really solid show that kept energy throughout the entire time and like didn't, you know, beat my ass. So
there is there's a lot of high energy, a lot of dancing, a lot of movement. Yeah.
Which is fun.
And this is the first time you hired a creative team, right?
Yeah.
Because you said in the previous interview you just focused on singing your ass off at the shows, but this time
I was like, as long as I sound good, I don't give a fuck, you know. But this was the first time that I wanted to make sure that I created a world for people to enter. The visuals, the costuming, the choice of dancers, the set list, the entire visuals have like a story that it walks through based on the song choices, as well as like the big like kabuki curtain thing that we have going on with like the shadows and the orchestra. Like it's all based on Disney's Fantasia, which is one of my favorite movies ever. So it's kind of like this trippy aspect, but I realized very quickly in the first week of shows, I was like, really what my fans like from me is that it just feels like a big ass connection that we're having.
Yeah.
So I kind of shied away from being like overly theatrical, and I was like, let me just go out there and actually fuck with them because that's what they fuck with about me. So that just became that very quickly.
what city surprised you the most? Like, what's the livest?
See, but y'all didn't surprise me though. San Diego didn't surprise me. I was like, I know this shit's gonna be turned. I know that. So that didn't surprise me. Hawaii was very quiet.
Oh.
It was
up,
so
Hawaii?
good, but I also like, it's Hawaii. Like we're all chilling. They just felt like everybody was chilling. Everybody was like, I'm having a good time. I was like, yeah, me too. We was relaxed. It was the end of it. Like I took a couple shots. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Surprised me randomly like Connecticut.
Peace, Connecticut.
And Indianapolis
Okay.
was loud as hell. I was like, all right, y'all, I didn't know this what y'all was working with, but I like it here.
But it had to be meaningful to perform at the Oracle Arena, your hometown.
Oh man, it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
Did you cry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I thought I was gonna make it a long time without crying, but I bawled hysterically within the first time I had to open my mouth to talk. Not that I hate saying like I never thought I would play that place because that thought wasn't even my mind. It's just that it didn't even register to me that I could, that would ever be an option. Like I never had huge expectations for my career, and not in a self-doubting kind of way, but just like I was like, this shit's gonna do what it does, and I'm happy to be here, and whatever happens, I'm stoked about. You know what I mean? And so every big thing that happens is like such a surprise to me because I didn't set out this like list of like, I have to do this for my career to be worth it. And so now that all these really cool things are happening, I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. Like, I have no idea what's going on here, but God bless.
and you brought your daughter on the road too.
I did. That was crazy.
Was it?
How's her room? Family room? How's the accommodations for her?
Oh, it's just, she's chill. She's so chill. She has fun with everyone. She's so social. Like, she loves all my friends. She has a million aunties and uncles. Like, everyone on the tour is like, she walks into the room and she's like, all right, bye, Mom. I'm going to play with so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't know where she is. And somebody's like, oh, she's over there with Emily. Yeah. She's over there with so-and-so. I'm like, okay, understood. Like, everybody's such a tight-knit family that, like, she's just around who she considers family all day. So it's like not any really different than being home.
But you put her to work too, because she made the album.
She's my creative director.
The creative director.
But you were saying how you have amazing conversations with her. Like she'll ask you like deep introspective questions. Like,
she says
are you
things
happy
all the
when
time.
you sing or something? She said. Right?
She asked me if I'm happy when I sing. She asked me if I could tell her about the universe. I have like a voice memo where she's like, I want to talk about the universe.
Wow.
And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Literally, we're in Hawaii the other day, and she goes, Mommy, the sun has so many secrets.
Whoa.
Damn.
She a writer too.
Whoa.
I was like, all right. But say it again.
Whoa. I'm about to use that.
All right, I'm like, I'm about to give you writing credits, girl.
I also saw that you said you took up surfing and got really into it. And then you said, it was before you went on tour, you said I might start putting surfboards on top of the tour bus.
They were in my tour bus. Like, imagine I'm sleeping on the bed on my tour bus, just praying my surfboard doesn't come like decapitate me, because it's like wedged in between my bed and the door to like the room on my bus. But yeah, surfing changed my life. I think having something that's completely unlike anything that you do, because I know a lot of us artists have side hobbies that are still some form of art.
Yeah.
And I think having something that I do that is not art related, that I can get good at without it having to be competitive. I'm never going to become a competitive surfer. I'm never going to try to go pro. Like, I don't have to worry about anything like that. I have something to like get good at just for my own enjoyment. And like nobody in the water gives a fuck who I am or what I do. They're just like, can you catch a wave or get the fuck out the way, you know? So it's nice to have that little world where like it just doesn't matter. Like this world doesn't matter at all.
Does photography give you that kind of outlet as well?
Photography even has that strange, like competitive, like you're an artist, why are you behind the camera type of thing. I experienced that in directing at times. I experienced that in photography. I do that for my own enjoyment, but this is just like, I can't compare even surfing to anything in like the art space because it's like a sport. And even then it's not like a sport that any of the competitors, like you go to a surfing competition, everybody's good vibes. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just like, honestly, we're just all stoked to be in the water anyways. So it's nice.
That's awesome. Also nice, this album, man, Blue Water Road.
Thank you.
One of the best of 2022.
Thank you.
No doubt. You know, I read, you know, for your previous album, you were hanging out a lot with the designer Kirby from Pierre Morse, right? You said that you would run songs by him, right?
Yeah.
So for Blue Water Road, was anyone that you checked in with to, you know, make sure the songs are on point?
Man, we made that album in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We had the songs in 3 weeks for sure. And then we were like finalizing them and doing new versions and like re-recording over the span of like maybe 3-4 months after that. But I was locked in with one person and a couple of my friends who write, and people would come in and out to like add their things. But like we were just kind of completely in our own world in a little studio in Malibu, just like not thinking of anything else. I was there every single day from the beginning of the day till nighttime, just like locked in, having fun, being honest, talking to my friends. So we were just running it by each other. We created a little universe that allowed us to create an album that felt like its own little universe as well. So that was nice.
Right. What does that symbolism with the water represent to you, right? Because like you're from the Bay, really, which is water, like, and blue water and your mouth, like, is that a source of inspiration for you? Yeah,
it was funny. So I originally started the album and it was really like a writing camp for what was supposed to be the deluxe of It Was Good Until It Wasn't. And I made all this music, and then I went through a really large ceremony process in my spiritual practice, and I came back, and I just didn't relate to any of the emotion of the last album. Like, It Was Good Until It Wasn't was very publicly in a chaotic time of my life. Obviously, the album is telling all the stories and things like that. Go listen to it. So when I came back from, you know, going through a really hard cleansing and a reset, I was like, I don't know who that is anymore. I'm going to put that away. And whatever I need to make next needs to honor, you know, this new space that I'm in. And I was very inspired. And so we kept like 1 or 2 songs from that writing camp that still felt like I could, you know, they made sense to me. Because ultimately my music feels like, for me, it's like a journal. You can literally go through every single one of my albums and like know exactly where I was at, who I was talking about, who I was singing to, what was going on. Their name might be in there. Like, it's for me. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, but it's for me. So I just really wanted to make sure that I captured exactly where I was at with it. And so, yeah, the symbolism of the water is just important to me in my religious space. But also I think it's a very relatable, cleansing energy for pretty much everyone in every religion and spiritual practice everywhere. One of the biggest, you know, tools and components is water. One of the biggest deities represented across the board is in water, whether it's a river, whether it's an ocean, just a body of water in general. And just that's where I was at with it. And I wanted to kind of like embody or like capture this place in my mind that I was when I made it. So I wanted to give it a location, and it also happened to be the name of the street where we started the album. We had got this house, we put a bunch of producers in it in all these different rooms, and I would just float around and just like make a song. And then the studio we ended up renting to finish the album was down the street from Blue Water Road. And I made a joke one day like, this just sounds like Blue Water Road, and they were like, keep it. And then like we didn't call it anything else ever. It just stuck after that. So I like when things happen organically.
Absolutely. Like the previous project, It Was Good Until It Wasn't, released during COVID. Do you feel like that got the proper attention that it deserved?
It's crazy because that was like my biggest album ever.
Yeah.
That's
a fan favorite.
I love that album.
I think, am I lying? Am I wrong? Am I right? Yeah, okay. I'm like, somebody in here knows the stats I don't pay attention to. It was my most successful album, and it was during the thick of the pandemic. But that was also an album where I feel like I learned just major independence in my creative space. We finished the album. We couldn't put it out at the time because, you know, the label wanted to support me. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna take some matters into my own hands, I think, and I'm gonna make my own music videos. And I got drunk one night and made a video in my bedroom. And it started going up and everybody was like, you could just do that again if you wanted. And I was like, well, get me some equipment and we can talk about it. And I'll get on YouTube and learn how to work the programs. And so I did, and we made all these projects, and it did the best that they've done. And it was a huge lesson for me, and just like, you can't wait on anything to press your go button. You know, so I just locked in with all the people around me and pressed the go button. And that's also because it did so well, I didn't feel like I had so much pressure with the next one because it came so fast. This was, in my opinion, this was a super quick back-to-back album type of situation. And so I just was like, whatever I make next, like, I can just have fun and just do what I want to do.
But sometimes people challenge that though, like to make like a happier record or be in a better space. Like, you know, there was always the battle.
A lot of people hated it. A lot of people were like, man, we love when you're depressed. We love when you get cheated on. We love when you go through drama, because the music's gonna be, when I get into a happy relationship publicly, my comments be like, nah, break her heart so she can make some fire shit. Man. So she could drop that shit on SoundCloud. I'm like, oh man, low key do it. But
you're like, fuck that, here's the Melt video.
Yeah, enjoy it. But
it's like they did it with Mary, like the Marry My Life, and do you want Marry My Life or Marry Just Fine?
Every artist who makes like honest, like very honest, true to exactly what they're going through, very publicly open, unafraid of like what they're going through stuff. Yeah, we love it, but like also go to therapy and like be okay and like call your mom, you know, like be okay before that. But like, you know, it's art and that's what it is.
Or you can make a record like my favorite off the album, Shoot an Interlude.
Shoot it. That's your favorite?
Yeah. Good taste though. Those are some bars in there.
There's some bars.
Yeah, you got bars. What's up with that?
Are those real? But to your point with Shooters Interlude, those real questions that you're confronted with on Shooters Interlude?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think every single one of those lines has been something I've heard at some point. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, so I've been hearing things for a long time. My first mixtape dropped when I was 19. I'm 27. You can imagine like the amount of shit that has been said to me.
How many Ubers have you paid for?
Oh, what? Uber should cut me a damn deal. My business managers had to sit me down and be like, you can't give your Uber to your family members anymore. We're deleting it off of your phone.
Right.
I don't have Uber no more. I don't have Postmates. I don't have Cash App. Someone else has it for me. And whenever I be like, hey, can you send my auntie this because she need, someone else has to do it because I'm irresponsible.
Oh, man. But the other interlude, Everything Interlude, that's kind of one of my favorites because it sounds like a score from a movie. Did you like attempt to put vocals on it at any point?
I didn't. It was actually just the string arrangement from Everything. And I think we kind of like got that inspiration from Velvet Rope. I feel like she had taken instrument parts and put them in other places of the album and then like continued them in other places. And I really liked that. And my producer's also just a genius, and he wanted to showcase parts of his self also that people didn't know about him, like his really insane score ability and his knowledge of like classical instruments and his knowledge of like just music that people didn't expect him to make because we had done Sweet Sexy Savage and he did a lot of It Was Good Until It Wasn't, and he's done so much like really hardcore big pop and then like really like, you know, R&B. So like him getting into this really cool like musical space, it was cool to do with him. So that was his idea.
Oh, that's dope. One of my favorite joints is because it feels like there's a lot of hip hop influence too on this project.
Yeah.
So like Wish I Never, sample Slick Rick, Children's Story. I read that Pop presented you the track, but you didn't like it initially.
It wasn't because of the track.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't because of the beat. It was because I had this idea of how like pretty the album was going, and he plays me this song, and I'm like, this is kind of turnt.
Yeah.
And I just ultimately I didn't know where it fit. But and also it was challenging for me. I feel like I have a really soft voice. Sometimes it's hard for me to get attitude to come out of it. Like, you don't know how many times I have to get myself to record. I could be in there thinking I'm meaning everything I'm saying, and it's still like, and I'm like, oh shit. I was in there like cussing somebody out.
See, I love that when you get into that bag.
Yeah.
I need to do a little bit more, huh? It's okay, I'm ready.
But it felt organic too. It felt like you was in your hip hop bag.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun getting to like, you know, make nods to things I've gone through that people know and they could point it out like, haha, I've been there. I know what this is about. And also just like have a little fun. I knew I would have fun dancing to it. I knew like, regardless of how like in a great peaceful space I'm in, I always have like the slick talk, like attitude part
your
of
slick
me
talk
that
game,
like,
that's
can't go
what it
anywhere.
is.
I'm from Oakland, you feel me? So it was I thought you said 10 minutes. I was like, look, they rushing us. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Absolutely. And even EPMD sample Up at Night with Justin Bieber samples what you're saying. I love that joint as well. Like, what was he in the video?
He was busy.
Oh, damn,
Justin Bieber, B.Dot.
Yeah, he was busy.
He can't be busy for
He was on
Kehlani.
tours, on a big tour.
You're on a big tour too, though.
Are we comparing it to Justin Bieber's tour? What an honor. He's doing like arena stadium things.
You do it arenas too, man. See, that's what I'm saying.
I did one, but thank you.
But let's talk about the other amazing collaborations. You and Sid, you and Jesse Reyes, back to back on the album. Secret Sin, like, get me started.
They're just my actual friends who I think are amazing, and I'm really big on like working with people that I actually love in real life. And I think that those are two women that I've been so fortunate to like have had open up to me and like support me. Sid, I've been a fan of since I was in high school. Like I had to tell Sid when I first met her, like I stood outside the Warfield in San Francisco when I was in high school and stayed after, waited by the Odd Future tour bus.
Wow.
To meet you.
Damn.
And then when she came out, I couldn't even talk because I was just like, and I was like, yes, that was a little gay, but now we're friends. I promise it's not like that anymore. I'm grown, I'm over it. And then Jessie is just like the sweetest human being on the planet. Like what you see publicly is like exactly what you get. Like she is that sweet, that passionate, that courageous, that joyful. Like she's just a pleasure of a person. And it's super just rare to meet people who haven't been tainted by like all that they've been through in this industry or like all that they've had to fight through, all that they've had to work for. And she's just like still just as stoked to be here as she was in the beginning. And I'm just like, please keep that energy forever because it's easy to let it go away. So
yeah, with that song, it's almost hard to know who's who because it sounds like you guys are blended together or more than I should.
We were like playing with each other. That's why. Like there was funny where we were like just cracking jokes off. Back and forth. Oh, whoa, pause. Sister vibes, majorly. That is a straight. That's a hetero.
Identify.
Thank you.
Yeah. Identify.
But yeah, just she's
like
good energy.
Yeah, like when in the record, it just sounds like you guys just no pun.
Well, the fun is she was singing about a boy, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna take some of these and flip the words, and I'm just gonna sing about a girl. And we're just gonna go back and forth, and I'm just gonna let them be confused. Bisexual anthem, I guess.
Right.
Hey.
Not me. Y'all be
Right.
safe though.
But you said it allowed you to write with writing with the perspective of being in love with a woman. It made you able to write deeper songs, deeper love songs, right? You
I
said something
actually
like you
was falling in love deeper and shit. So the song started being able to be more real. I was like, oh, this is what I was fake talking about all those years.
But is it difficult to revisit songs that might be inspired by someone like a Melt?
No, not really.
Okay.
It just takes some time. I mean, I'm a human. I'm 27. Like, I know when I'm 35, I'm going to be looking back like, oh, I remember when I stopped performing that song. But I think overall, it's like you make the choice as an artist when you decide to be honest and bear your personal life or sing about your personal life. But as a person that does both, I'm always conscious of just being like, if I decided to open my life up in this way, I can still always protect myself as much as I want to, just at the same time. I don't really owe anybody. You know, if this song hurts my feelings, I don't want to sing it, I'm not singing it. If I want to switch the words up to express how I really feel in that moment, I'm going to switch the words up, you know what I mean? But I commit to being myself 100% through and through.
Yeah.
So,
Make some noise for that.
So even with like the video, it's like no regret. Like you were happy in the moment when you made it.
Yeah, and it's no love lost either. There's no hurt feelings. There's no anger. There's no, it's all love. It's just conflict of interest in scheduling. And it is what it is. The video was great. I directed it, so I'm proud of it. You know, so.
You directed a lot of your videos too.
Yeah,
like,
I edited that shit in my kitchen. Like,
wow.
I'm proud of it.
You threw me for a loop with anything because it's such a sweet song, and to hear you out in all black in the hood.
I like I love a juxtaposition.
Right.
And I also came up with that as a joke. I was in the studio and I was like, this would be crazy if I shot this ballad video like a gangster rap video, but then throw this random thing in each shot where it feels like this doesn't make any sense, like a ballerina at the kickback in the parking lot, or like we all look like we're watching a game, but we're like watching another music video of mine, you know, shit like that. And they were like, that actually sounds fire. How do I support you in doing that? And I got with my friend, sat with my friend who's like a more experienced director than me, and like paired up ideas, and we shot it together, and it's my favorite one off the project. So
yeah. What's up?
Can I talk about Any Given Sunday? It's like you took a page out of T-Pain's book. Have you ever fallen in love with a stripper?
Fallen in love? I think I thought I was in love a lot of times, and I'm learning that I wasn't. Fallen in love? I definitely dated a stripper.
We all have.
Yeah, she was a great time. She was so much fun. But there's so much drama that happens at the strip club that I just like was not privy to until I dated her, and I was like, oh, you got a lot going on. It's always something like, girl, then somebody tried to stab me, and then this happened, and this happened. I was like, I'm 21. I can't come get you right now
like,
at 3 a.m. from the strip club. I don't have a license. Like, I can't support you properly. So shout out to her. We're friends. She's a good time.
But what inspired that song? It's a fun vibe to it, though.
Fabo wrote that song. I added my little twist to it, but shout out Fabo. He's fucking incredible. Super amazing artist. He's just on tour right now. Maybe he just finished his tour, going another one. If he's finished, yep, thank you. But that's my brother for real. And he played me this song, and I was like, how crazy would it be if I, as a woman, had a strip club anthem?
What did you say? You said, where's
Get the line, Elliot. Get the line.
Where's my line? Because you was talking that shit. The baddest bitch that's in the mirror wants to love somebody's daughter right.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. I do. Okay?
But I feel like that's what I'm saying about hip hop. You have those moments where you do that and like you almost do a bar or two, and it's like you're gonna do a full out rap, and then you kind of pull back.
Yeah, I like playing the little in between. That's why the whole R&B conversation is so funny.
Yeah, right?
Because I'm like, I just be doing whatever I want. I'm glad you guys put it in a category, but I just do whatever I want. Hope it sounds cool.
It sounded good. Little Story. Did the muse behind Little Story hear that song?
I sent it to her first.
Oh.
I'm respectful sometimes. Now, if I'm dropping it on SoundCloud, unmixed, unmastered, you're not hearing shit.
What was the response?
She loved it. I mean, I was reminiscing. I wasn't like in the thick of the Little Story feelings when I wrote Little Story. I just I had passed those feelings.
Okay.
So I sent it like, look, just so you know, like I don't want you to be trying to puzzle pieces together when it comes out. This is about you. I'm not opening a door.
Right.
I'm simply sending this to you because you have also done the courteous thing of sending me things before they come out and are about me. So, you know, that's just what it was.
I saw that you said Melt feels different than how you made it, right?
Yeah.
Are there any other songs that give that same feeling?
I don't even remember what's on the album. You have the track list.
The track list? Pull it up.
You know it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even remember anything, to be honest. How long ago was that?
Not too long ago.
I'm ready to make another one, that's why.
Oh, shit.
Where's that coming? Are you working on one?
I have not started. I've been on tour and surfing.
You did say, like, mentally you're like 2 albums from now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always, as soon as I drop it, I'm already like, man, the next one's going to be.
Yeah.
Not 3. I'm taking my sweet ass time with the next one. I'll tell you that. But I just want to figure out what I want to do. You know, I think I just made this one based off of feeling, and now I'm in like such a like dedicated to me and like my solo time and like my focus and my like growth and my development and just really being in my own, just me and my business, me and my world, that I need to take my time and like figure out what I want anything to even sound like, let alone what I want to talk about.
You have been flirting with the idea of you and Russ getting in the studio, putting a collabo album out.
I fucking love Russ. I think everything he's done is so freakishly amazing.
Yeah,
and I
we
think
love
that
Russ.
it's like it's not unheard of, but it's just a testament to what you can do when you just go hard for yourself. And he gave me a lot of advice, even though I like came out before him, which I remember was such a cool conversation where he was like, I came out this time, you came out this time, and then we kept doing this, and now I'm here and you're doing this, and it's like we're like twins for real or something like that. And I was like, man, you're doing it way crazier than me. This is insane. And I almost like didn't really even recognize how crazy what he was doing was until like it was unimaginable. And he's still so humble. Like he has his moments where he's like, I'm gonna tell y'all what the fuck is going on and what I do for real and don't sleep. But his willingness to always big up other artists and like give people advice and like he just extends himself so much and it's super appreciated.
So y'all gonna do an album?
We're gonna do a bunch of music.
Okay.
We're just never in the same place at the same time. We got really drunk in Vegas that one time and that's how that video came about. They were talking about, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do a collab album. Next morning I was like, the tequila was tequilaing for sure.
But you seem very selective. I'm sure you get hip hop artists reach out all the time, probably trying to do something, but you're super selective. Like, you know, you set a high standard. You and Cardi B with Ring, off the classic album Invasion of Privacy. Like, how did that song come together?
They just played it for me and they were like, Cardi B wants you on this. And I was like, just a stan of Cardi on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, this bitch is hilarious. And I just love funny people who are like super themselves. And it was just refreshing to see this like girl that could have been like my cousin just being herself on the internet. And like people were like obsessed with her. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still me. And I was like, of course. And I think she had even like, I think maybe Bodak Yellow had just came out by the time I got the song. And I was like, yeah, this shit's about to go up. But beyond it going up, like I just fuck with her as a person.
Yeah. So
I was super down. And then it did what it did and I was honored, so.
And some of your favorite people aren't not necessarily celebrities. Like your neighbor Dot.
Oh my God, Dot. Shout out Dot.
You spend a lot of time with her, right?
I do be at Dot's house.
So can you talk about who Dot is?
Oh my God, this is hilarious. I can't wait to play her this. I haven't been going lately, so I'm acting a little fake right now. Because I haven't been home. I've been on tour.
Yeah.
But my neighbor Dot is this older woman. I was about to say grown-ass woman, but she's a granny. I love Dot. Yes, and she does Wednesday night dinners at her house for my whole little neighborhood.
Wow.
And my first day moving there, like my other neighbor walks past me with a casserole and she's like, hi, new neighbor. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This isn't The Watcher.
I've only seen this in movies, dead ass. I was like, y'all gonna kill me for sure. And she's like, I love your house, da 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 da. I wanted to buy that one, but I got this one. I was like, okay, cute. She was like, come to Wednesday night dinner. We do it every Wednesday. I get there. I'm like the only young person in there. Everybody's mad old and like talking about like how they all were hella liberal back in the day. And like, they know I'm from the Bay. So like, they want to talk about like politics and being radical and all type of shit. And I was like, wow, I'll be here every Wednesday. So that's Dot. Shout out Dot.
She's not here tonight, right?
Yeah.
No, I
Damn.
haven't. She's probably really mad at me.
Oh,
Because
man.
I have missed a lot of Wednesdays.
Her
and Dot got
I've
beef.
been gone. Not beef. Oh, no.
Speaking of the Bay, I married a woman from Oakland.
Come on, real one.
A real one.
I
That's
know
what I'm
she'd
saying.
be cutting you a new
But
asshole.
being married to a woman from Oakland, you guys, the pride you guys have being from Oakland is another level. We're from Queens. We're very proud about that. But you guys take it to another level. You know, Oakland is, the pride level, the creativity. Like, what is so special about that place?
What is not special about that place? Y'all see the people it breeds. First of all, Zendaya, me,
Larry June.
We got rappers out the ass that shifted cultural, like huge cultural changes. We have political history out the ass. We have such a like different environment to where when I started growing up and touring and traveling, like I didn't even know that everywhere in the world wasn't like Oakland. I didn't know everybody wasn't like liberal and queer and looks different and covered in tattoos and everybody's just, that's normal to me. I grew up going to Pride. I grew up with all my aunties and uncles looking like they could be someone else's aunties and uncles and fucking covered in like everybody was just different and having different views and different outlooks on life and being super like accepting and socially aware was just normal to me. And I didn't know that wasn't the case until I, started traveling. But that's special.
Yeah.
We have such a melting pot of culture, whether it's like actual differences in culture itself and also like different class cultures and different musical cultures and different historical cultures. And it's just an honor. You know what I mean? Because you just don't. I mean, I could say the same for New York. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize that until you grow up and leave, and you come back and you're like, oh shit, I'm lucky as hell. You know what I mean? I was exposed to all of it from the jump, and it was completely nothing registered that it was different.
Do you think that's where your strength and resilience comes from? Because like you said, you've been in this business since you was a teenager. Like we seen this business eat people up. Yeah. But you continue to evolve and get stronger.
I mean, I think just watching all the women in my family who are also Bay Area born and raised struggle through what they've struggled through and make it through what they've made it through and face everything that they faced, I just didn't feel like I had a choice to ever quit like that. You know what I mean? I've had my moments for sure where I fell and I was like, I'm done, I quit. But I didn't ever settle on that idea of just like, you know, it's not gonna ever get better, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. It's in me, I guess.
Definitely in you. Definitely in you.
Town business, right?
The town.
You also got a lot of other inspirations in you too. I read that, you know, vocally you're always listening to Brandy.
Oh yes.
And
the one and the only.
Brandy high.
And as a writer, you're always listening to India.Arie and Drake. So what about those artists that you draw inspiration from?
Beyond that, I feel like all my inspirations are even a lot older. I think I've just had moments in interviews where like I was asked and like those were the specific quotes. But as far as Brandy goes, I think to be a singer in 2022, I mean, I've been in it for way longer than that. Yeah. But to be in my generation of music and not quote Brandy as who you look to vocally is like, come on, harmonies, runs. When it came to that shift that happened of like cool R&B, like I feel like Brandy was this like, not to say slept on, but I feel like it's
not slept on.
We can say slept on.
Like,
fairly slept on.
It feels weird to say that it's almost niche to reference Brandy as your favorite, which shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? Like she shouldn't be the niche. She shouldn't be the. It's like we're talking about one of the most innovative like vocalists of all time. Like just freaky, mind blowing. Like any genre she tried, she could sing and do because her voice is like a freaky machine. Like. So I say that to say, Brandy Hive.
Brandy Hive.
Do you feel like there's still pressure to have that sex symbol growth in your career in R&B?
Pressure? No, I just sometimes feel sexier and sometimes I don't. So like all of my moments where I've like gone sexy wasn't strategic. It was just like I felt sexy right now. And sometimes I feel like a little teenage boy. So just deal with it when I come in here with my hoodie pulled up and my pants 50 times too big for me and I'm sitting like this. That's just where I'm at with it. Do I feel like that's the case in general? Sometimes. Yeah. I feel like sometimes there is a pressure for femmes in music to have to appeal in that way. And I noticed a lot of shift when I came out. Of just like, I knew what was gonna happen, you know what I mean? Like I told everyone around me, I was like, look, now if I lose the male gaze, I don't give a fuck. If that's what you guys are gonna beg me not to do, if you guys don't want me to be myself because I'm gonna lose a part of my audience because they're listening to me singing about dick and things like that, you know, then like that's what it is. But I knew that it was gonna be a different route. And I'm really grateful for those who kept rocking with me when, you know, I was singing about being really, really sprung and being in love and like not being OD sexual and not being singing about men. But across the board, I think that there is, you know, a pressure to do so. But that's just the world that we live in. That's movies, that's TV, it's everything. Every sex is a part of all of it. And it's not a bad thing either. I don't hate it. You know what I mean? I'm a sexual person. I'm a sexual being. And I appreciate all the sexy bitches that make sexy music. So do you, girl. You know, I just don't like it when the pressure's applied to someone who that isn't natural for them. And I'm like, I don't feel like you want to do this. So don't do it if you don't. You know, if you don't like it, you don't have to.
But you can hear the diversity in your music because you have collaborations this year with Babyface and Burna Boy. You know what I mean? It's not just relegated to that particular sound.
Yeah, it's been sweet. I was so shocked Babyface wanted to make like a gay song with me. Not shocked at him because I didn't assume he was anti anything. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, this like an old school dude who wants to like let me do my very new school me on like his shit. He was like, I like when you get rappy. I was like, oh shit.
See? Yeah. I like when she gets rappy, see?
What the hell? He was like, yeah, and his studio process is so amazing. Like, he stops the music and he's like, so when you said, he's like, when you said she was getting too drunk, do you feel like that was embarrassing? Or was the emotion you were feeling more like, and I was like, yeah, I was really embarrassed. It was like he was talking me through my songwriting. It was great. I
love it.
Dope. Now, before we get out of here, I read that you accomplished a lot, from the tour and everything else you've done in life. Is there anything left on the bucket list?
There's like unexpected things on the bucket list. Like I want to spend a year in another country. I want to learn a language. I want to direct a film. I want to act more. I just did it for the first time and I'm excited.
Right, got the L word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to have more kids.
Okay.
I think at this point my bucket list is very life based because I don't really set expectations in my music. Like I said, that's why everything that happens I'm so excited about because I genuinely didn't expect it. And I don't really know if that's like anti-manifesting or like I'm doing a really cool thing and I'm surprising myself, but like we'll see how that turns out for me. But yeah, I just want to keep being a better version of who I am as a person and let the art kind of follow that and not hyper focus on like art all the time because I feel like that can just make you so crazy and all of this shit is a game anyways. And I just work really hard to like stay out of the matrix, and I hate calling it that because that sounds so hype and head ass, but to just stay out of everything that I know isn't real. Because it can really, I have so many people that I know that like our everyday normal conversations have become about just like, man, I'm just not number one on the hot blah blah blah. I'm like, they not fucking with me and they not understanding that I'm the hottest. And I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, I didn't win a Grammy. Who cares? What does that even mean? It's beautiful. And I'm not like, if I was ever to, when that happens, if it happens, great. But to let that be the sole reason why you do what you do, when really what matters is that person that walks up to you at the grocery store and is like, yo, you saved my life. That's what matters.
Yeah.
So as long as I always have that connection with people and they give me that, then I'm doing what I need to do. So.
Right. And with the L word, how excited are you with that, man?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I got anxiety about that shit. It's nothing like who I am in real life, kind of.
Say kind of.
And it was just for that to be my first role, and it had to take me so far to my comfort zone. It was a cool challenge. It was a fun challenge, and everybody on set was so cool, and everybody a part of the show was so cool, and I was a huge fan. I don't really get starstruck by a lot of musicians, so I get starstruck by actors. And I was like on set, and I was like, bitch, that's Tina in bed. I was like, I hate y'all on the show for real. Don't want y'all to be together, but I love you. So I was geeked up, and they just let me be geeked up, and like, they were like talking to me about spoilers and explaining everything, and I was running through all my millions of theories and what zodiac signs I thought their characters were and shit. So it was cool. So
it's gonna be a reoccurring role, or is it?
I'm on a few episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why they put me on the poster.
Hey.
I'm on a billboard, bitch.
And you're on the Rapradar podcast. I hope you enjoyed this.
Yes.
It's been so fun. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime, Kehlani.
Continued success. Kehlani!
Yeah.